And I'll do a second round of questions, and I do know that Ranking Member Markey will be back and have additional questions as well as a closing statement. So we'll go back to Mr. Briggs for you. Last year, SBA failed to alert or provide the committee with any information before the agency ran out of funding for its disaster assistance program. Administrator Loeffler committed to ensuring Congress has transparent and timely information from SBA during her confirmation hearing. Can you additionally confirm that SBA will keep Congress informed of any changes in SBA's disaster program or any potential shortfalls?
Chair Ernst, thanks for the question. Yes, in all of my previous times as a presidential appointee, especially during COVID, I saw it as part of my job to keep Congress informed, especially this committee.
Very good, thank you. Under the Biden administration, a myriad of changes to the disaster program went into place, likely exacerbating the problems that led to the program's shortfall last fall. As someone with experience leading the Office of Capital Access, how will you ensure that the disaster loan program is properly managed during your time as SBA Deputy Administrator?
Chair Ernst, thank you for the question. As you said, I did oversee the Office of Capital Access. After I left, there was a little bit of that merging with the old Office of Disaster, and so now the systems are somewhat merged. I think one of two things I would first immediately do is work with the current AA, or Associate Administrator of the Office of Capital Access, to understand, especially over the last 8 weeks, what has been done, but also to work with our new CFO. This is, in my opinion, basic blocking and tackling, that we have to make sure there's enough money because we know disasters are coming. It's inexcusable. We don't know when, but COVID taught us one thing: think of the worst and then double it, or triple it, or 10 times it. And so if I'm confirmed, that will be my focus, to work with both the CFO's office and the Office of Capital Access on the disaster program.
So you've given a very good overview. You are committing to ensure that a shortfall never happens again. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator.
Okay, thank you very much. And I've got 2.5 minutes remaining, so let's go to, again, Mr. Briggs. We'll talk a little bit about disaster field training. Iowa experiences our fair share of disasters. We've seen derechos, tornadoes, you name it. Just last week, Iowans experienced a powerful blizzard that left thousands without power, and now we're about to go into that tornado season. In disasters aftermath, there's a lot of folks that are at their most vulnerable. And it's something that's very tragic. They're doing their best to pick up the pieces of their lives that have been destroyed by something completely out of their control. Disappointingly, though, we have heard repeated reports over the years of SBA field staff showing poor customer service to the disaster victims who come to them for help. Victims have been profiled, made to feel SBA cannot do anything for them, and even left with completely incorrect information. This happened in Iowa. This is unacceptable, and it must be changed. As SBA Deputy Administrator, how will you help ensure SBA disaster field staff will be properly trained and equipped to help disaster victims access SBA assistance?
Chair Ernst, thank you for that question. It's inexcusable when situations happen like that and people are at their most vulnerable. When I served in the prior administration, one of the initiatives I undertook was the Field Alignment Initiative to ensure that there was consistent customer service across the country. So the customer service that small businesses got in Iowa was the same they would have gotten in Massachusetts. This is the sort of thing that I take great pride in working with the Office of Field Operations. I believe the Associate Administrator from there is from Iowa, and so we will work to address that as best as possible. But people really need the SBA during disasters. That was made abundantly clear to me during my prior term and will be a key focus of mine, getting the disaster thing right going forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that commitment. And then if we have Senator Markey coming back.
Justice is coming in.
Oh, okay. Okay, just a very quick break, and we will continue. I think we have one more senator coming, and then we'll go back to Senator Markey. But a little bit about our experience in Iowa. Last year during the tornado season, we saw a number of our very small communities that had been wiped out by those disasters. In one case, 60% of the homes and businesses in one town was gone after a tornado, and my own staff was on ground to assist those people that had been impacted by the tornado, and the SBA field staff had provided inaccurate, incomplete, absolutely wrong information, and actually provided them a handout with a website that had been dead for heaven knows how long. So that's why it's so important. We've got to provide people with accurate information when they are most vulnerable. And Mr. Justice is getting situated. So